Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. I've been dying to get this content out. These are from Savotta. I say recent released. I think they came out, it was either the beginning of 2025, which we're in now, or it was closer to the end of 2024. But within the last 6 months or so, these have been released. These are two hip packs. Now, the two versions that we have, you can decide whether you want a small or you want a larger one, depending on your needs, or you can just buy both. Let's face it, you're probably going to buy both anyway. You have the Kukkaro or you have the Askare. Now, I will say at this point, I'm not Finnish. I love the Finnish. I've met a few Finnish people this winter whilst in Germany. Anyway, if I've said that wrong, I apologise. I'm from the Kingdom of Moorland. We're a small landlocked nation. Imagine we're just like the English, but slightly more intelligent. So if I got the pronunciation wrong, then I do apologise. But for now, it's the Kukkaro and the Askare. I even did it with a little mock Finnish accent there, if you got that. Yes, you have two different sizes of these, and it really comes down to which one you prefer. Now, as we usually do, we'll go into some measurements, we'll go into some materials, and yeah, and then we'll have a look around both of these different packs and look at the differences between them. Now, firstly, with measurements are concerned, the Kukkaro is the smaller version of the two, hopefully, as you can see here. This comes in at 20 centimeters by 12 centimeters, sorry, and I think this is about 4 or 5 centimeters deep, which is roughly about 1.5 liters. The larger of the two, which is clearly the larger of the two, this is the Askare, and this comes in at 35 centimeters by 20 centimeters by about 9 centimeters again, if I remember rightly, and this is about 7 liters in total. Now, with this being 35 by 20 and this being 20 by 12, hopefully you'll see if I put this over there, you can see you can fit roughly 3 of these Kukkaros into the size of the Askare. As far as your materials are concerned, it's Savotta. They only make stuff that's designed to last zombie apocalypses. So on the outer material of this is a 500D Cordura. Oh, it's not 1000D Cordura. It's not, but let's face it, 500D Cordura is still pretty freaking tough. This is a PU lined Cordura as well, so similar to how they make, probably should have put it on the large one there, but if you can see there, so it's PU lined. This does help with water. Cordura, through the material that it's made from, it's a polyester style material, has some hydrostatic qualities, mainly down to the DWR coating that it has on it, so water will brush off it, but if it gets soaked a little bit more, then the PU coating on the inside will help to protect whatever you have on the inside here. If you're wondering, yes, this does have the same NIR capabilities that a lot of their other, because it's still using the same materials, so if you are going dark, then you know it will be easier not to be seen in the dark with something like this. Everything else on here is your usual Savotta bomber materials. From the webbing, nice and tough. The grommets on the bottom here, these are made from steel, iron, steel, must be steel. Anyway, your buckles are ITW Nexus buckles. The webbing on here is the normal, and I say this every single time I talk about Savotta's webbing. It's just built different. It really is. It's crazy. Everything on this is designed to make sure if this is something that you want to last, it will last you, and you can hand this down to your kids and their kids, and it'll still look pretty much brand new. Now, so that's the Kukkaro. One of the differences with the Kukkaro is, so this has the 25mm webbing on your hip belt, whereas with the Askare, so this is all of the same materials through the front. It does have a hook and loop section here if you want to put a little morale patch on here. I have my little Finnish flag that the team at Versteleka sent me, so hey, shout out to them. I didn't buy this from Versteleka, but you know, they're good people anyway, so always a good big shout out to Versteleka. So yeah, larger morale patch section on the Askare, and you've got a 40mm webbing strap on here. Now, as I have the Askare in my hand, we might as well go through this one first. Let's just put the Kukkaro down for a second. So as I mentioned, this is, and it clearly is, the larger one of the two. This is designed more for just taking a little bit more out with you. With this being a 7-litre pack, if you have a 7-litre satchel or haversack or something like that, you can totally replace this with that so that it's attached to your hips. You can go out with it, you can do some walks, but the beauty of this as well is that it does have some other connection points. So here on the back you see you have one here, and then you have the same at the bottom. So if you have some G-hooks, then you can attach this. Imagine it as a front panel on a molly section on one of their other bags, and you can add additional bits to this. So going through the features, although we kind of touched on a few, on the front here, hopefully you'll be able to see you have this large hook and loop section which you can put your patches onto, and then you also have some PALS webbing here as well. The PALS webbing has been orientated on this so that if you are wearing it as a hip belt, you have your ones that you can attach things to here, whereas if you're attaching this to the front of maybe one of your Yakaris or your one of the other bags, I'm looking at it, it's right there, it's looking at me, and I can't remember its name. I feel dirty not remembering its name. But you can angle this vertically like that so that you can still use the PALS webbing on the front. The two zippers on here, it is an ambi open, and it's just a single compartment. What you get with a lot of these style pouches or a lot of these style waist packs is usually you'll have a large compartment and then a quick access pocket or something like that here on the front. With this, they've decided to not do that. There must have been a design reason in there somewhere. I'm guessing a lot of Savotta stuff just tries to keep things very simple, so adding another zip on the front would have kind of complicated things, but it's just this one main compartment. Now when you open this, you do have double zips, so for me, I'm kind of a lefty, so I pull this around on this side so I can open it that way. But if you're having it on the right hand and you're pulling it around here, then you've got the zips as well so that you can open this either way. Now when this opens out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this inside out, that way you can see everything in here. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves while I'm doing this. Right, okay, so we got it inside out. Now that we are inside out, we can see the different compartments that we have in here. Now, this doesn't come with this, so you can get these little accessory hook and loop accessory loops. Where I bought these from, they have, where did I get it from? Anyway, a lot of things buying from Europe now, you have to make sure that it's at least £140 before they'll send it to you. So just buying a couple of these meant that it was over that limit, and that meant that I could get it sent to me. So on the inside here, you have a large hook and loop section, which is perfect for these. You can put your keys on here, you can put your phone in here, or if it is that you're out walking, then you can put, I don't know, compass, you can put lots of different things you can attach these to these. There is a smaller version of this, which I have in the Kukkaro, which we'll have a look at in a second. But for this large hook and loop panel here, you can put pretty much anything onto this that is hook and loop. At the top there is a little loop here, so if you do have something like maybe you've got a compass, maybe you've got a fire starting kit that you're always losing, let's face it, we always lose those, then you can attach that to there so that you can take it out, do whatever it is you need, put it back in, and you'll know where it is. Behind, oh, I say there's one, there's actually two, there's one on the other side as well. The main reason that there are two of these is, behind this hook and loop panel here, there are two reasonably large slip pockets. Now I say reasonably large because, I mean, I say reasonably large, they're massive. Yeah, I can put my full hand into both of these. That's what she said. So things like your mobile phone, if you're out walking, then you can easily drop your mobile phone into here. Maps fit in, gloves fit in easily. Pretty much, well, like I say, it's 35 centimeters from here to here, and that's half of that, so they are pretty big. So that's that front panel. Now I say the front panel, that's mainly because when you've got this on, that's where the hook and loop bit is on the front, so that's the bit that faces outwards. The back panel has more larger elastic sections. So the way that they've done this to make it as easy to be able to store things is you have a kind of a triple section, so hopefully you have these 2 stitches so you can put 3 things in there. If you need to put large things in, underneath they have a double section, so you just have a single stitch here in the middle. So when you're putting stuff in, maybe you've got a water bottle, maybe you've got some camera equipment or something like that you just want to keep separate or stop it from rattling around with the other things, then you can drop that into there, use those elasticated sections, just kind of hold it in place so that whilst you're out walking, then you know you're good. So that's the inside. Hopefully as well you saw in there, so here is more of that PU backed Cordura. And now with this being a hip pack, although I mentioned you can attach this with Molly on to other things, this is a hip pack, and I'm really happy to say that it follows more of a traditional style hip pack. And that, I've talked long and hard about this in the past. If you have a hip pack, it's better to have the straps orientated towards the top of this so that when it's on, it doesn't want to roll half as much. And with this having a perfectly flat back, it doesn't want to roll. All I'm doing, I'm just holding this. Hopefully you can see there the angle at which it's ever so slightly rolling, but you know, it's perfect for that. Now behind here, there is a full pass-through, so if you did want to put this onto a larger belt, maybe you have a larger padded belt, then you can do that. You can pass this all the way through, and with the straps that you've got, you can tuck these into here. Now these aren't removable straps, so I like the fact that they've added this. Now it makes perfect sense that they would add this, mainly because, just push these in again, with me mentioning that this can be used vertically on something else, having these straps out of the way makes perfect sense. Now behind here they also have some padding. Now I'm just going to take this out, I'm not going to put it back in again because it's a pain in the arse to get back in, but if I take it out I'll do it off camera afterwards. So you do have a thin sheet of padding in here. Now I do say thin, it's probably maybe 2, maybe 3 millimeters thick, but that just means that whatever you have in here, it's going to protect that from kind of rubbing or pushing into your back. Or if you wanted to, you could take that out and you could use it as a little sitting mat. Now when it's on, now I've actually been using this more as a crossbody bag, certainly whilst I've been out walking with this, and it's great for that. Swing it round, nice and big, 7 litres, you can take an awful lot out with this. When it's on the front, it sits proudly here. Again, because it has that flat back, it doesn't want to roll forward, which can be a pain with a lot of these kind of hip packs. And then when it's not on the front, you can swing it round to the back and it sits really well at the back there. It's very similar. Can you all remember the 511 tactical Moab? Is it the Moab? That's their kind of sling one, very similar to that. Although I will say this one probably sits on your back a little bit better than the 511 does. So that's the Askare. Now, sorry, I forgot to mention, so you can, I don't know, I didn't forget to mention, but you can wear this round your waist. This is going to be massive because I just had it on my chest. But when it sits here, it sits in the small of your back really nicely, and then you can swing it round, and then it's here on the front. If you do get water in this, there are some grommet holes here on the bottom, which will certainly help. If I was going to add anything to this, what I would add is a little bit of bungee. So what you can do is, if you use this tab and the paracord on the front, if you use this tab on the back and the PALS webbing here on the front and some bungee, you can actually kind of roll these round, and then if with doing a little cross on the front there, on the bottom there, you can add some bungee to that. So if you want to take a jacket, or you've got a small jacket, maybe even a water bottle, you can attach that underneath, which will be perfect for this. So that's the Askare. The smaller version of the Kukkaro, Remember saying, so this is 20 centimeters by 12 centimeters, 1.5 liters. Now, you can see this is a lot smaller. So recently when I went away, we did a little rooking event. I took this with me and it was an absolute godsend. When you're rooking, you've got 30 pounds on your back. It's a pain taking it off. So having things like your mobile phone in here, your keys in here, sun cream, all of that sort of stuff around your waist, just means you don't have to keep taking your pack off, and that's what I use this for, and it was absolutely awesome for this. Same materials, same construction, absolutely amazing. Now, one thing I didn't mention is, so as far as different colours are concerned, they have, what do they have? So they have a black, they have a green, there's a tan version. This is the Finnish MO5 camo, which I freaking love. It's designed for Finland and the pine forest and that sort of stuff that they have. But here in the Kingdom of the Moorlands, this works incredibly well, especially here in my woods. They also have a multicam, I believe, because they have just started doing multicam. So there are several different colours. So whichever you want in one of these, if you got one of their other packs, or if you got a different pack, then you should hopefully be able to find one that suits you. Now, getting back into this. So features wise, you have your hook and loop here on the front. It still works as a waist belt, and it still works as a crossbody if you want to carry it as a crossbody. Now, what I say with this, with it only being 1.5 liters, this really is designed more for your essentials. So being able to drop my car keys into here, drop my mobile phone into here, as I did whilst I was walking, it's perfect for that. Let's just take these back out again. Should have done that afterwards, shouldn't I really? Now, turning this inside out. So similar to the larger Askare, you have that PU lined Cordura, which again will help to keep this keep water out of this. All of the construction on here, all of the seams are fully reinforced, very similar to the Askare as well. Now on the front, and again I'm calling this the front section because that would be the section that's furthest away from you, you have another large hook and loop panel which pretty much covers the entire front of this. Here is another one of those hook and loop little bits, so you can pass bits through here, and that sits perfectly there on the front. Now, similar to the other version, this is also then has two slip pockets behind here, and also has two of these small loops on the front here, so if you need to be able to attach something to these, then you can do, and then you can drop them in here. Now this is 20 centimeters across the front, so each of these pockets is roughly 10 centimeters. Took me a second, my dad was a maths teacher, he'd kill me for that. So these are roughly 10 centimeters each and go down 12 centimeters. And then on the back you have more of the elastic. Now the elastic, how they've done this, rather than with the Askare you have that, it's either a third, it's even thirds sections, or it's in half sections. You have a half section here, so you have a larger bit here on this side. Then the one on the other side, it's more like, it's actually probably more like, say, 3/5 and 2/5 next to that. So again, just in case you've got smaller or larger items, you can drop those into there. And one of the bits that I really like about this is this larger slip pocket behind here. If I bring up my mobile phone, mine is the, what is this, the Pixel 8, just the normal Pixel 8. And that fits in there perfectly, so your larger iPhones, that sort of stuff, will be able to fit in here as well. And it just means that when you've got the rest of your stuff in here, if you're worried about stuff scratching your phone or whatever it does, then you can put that in and it will keep it separate from there. Now, when I have this turned the right way around, that will make a little bit more sense. But here we go. So the bit that I just mentioned, so here is the elastic bits that split into the different sections, and then here's that pocket. So when it's on your hip or it's on your front, you can drop that into there, zip this up, and then it really is good to go. The zips on this here are exactly the same, so whether you're a lefty or whether you're a righty, it is an ambi open. You have zips on both sides, so you can pull these completely over. The suspension system on this one is exactly the same, so again, I'm only just holding this lightly, but because it's orientated so that the straps come out through the top, or at least roughly in line with the top of the pack, then the weight of this, you know, hashtag physics, it works and it sits perfectly against you. There is a slight difference with this. So with the Askare, you don't have these little extra sections here on the side. I use these for just tucking, when I'm out walking the dogs, then I'll tuck the leads into here and it just holds the leads great. But you have some more PALS webbing here on the side. Now as far as PALS webbing is concerned, you have that on this Askare, you don't have it on the Kukkaro. There's none of that on the front here, so there's no kind of additional modularity. But with this only being 1.5 litres, I think if you were to add extra stuff to the front of this, it would look kind of weird. On the rear, if you did want to, it has the same pass-through section here on the back. So if you did just want to use this as, I don't know, like a little pouch, then you can pass these through here. Or if you're just stowing this away whilst you're doing something else, maybe you're traveling, you can stow this away, so it just makes it easier to be able to hide it. On the bottom, as I mentioned, on the side you have this PALS webbing, and on the bottom you have that too. And then you also have grommet holes here on the bottom, just in case you do get water or dirt into here, it will fall out as well. Now the waist belt on this, so the larger Askare, that is a 40mm waist belt. On the Kukkaro, this is a 25mm waist belt. Now with this one, I have actually been wearing this as a waist pack, much to my daughter's dislike. They really hate it when I wear this on my waist. But with it being away, putting it on the front here, it works perfectly. You get down, you get whatever you need, move it ever so slightly round to the side, and then you're off. You can wear it as a waist pack, or buckles on the wrong side, or you can extend this. Now when I say extend this, and that's with both of these, there's a lot of extension to this. This is going to look awful because I'm going to have to try and remember where it was when I put it back. And this isn't fully extended at the moment, by the way, so there is probably still an extra 4 or 5 inches on here. I have a 46, 48 inch chest, and look, there's loads of room in here. It's almost kind of down by my waist. So if you're concerned, if you have a larger chest, or if you want to wear this over a larger coat, certainly not going to need to worry. So there you have it, the Kukkaro and the Askare, depending on whether you're after something for your essentials or just carrying light for the day, or you're after something that's just a little bit more, or really has that versatility that maybe you want to attach this to one of your other packs if you're going to put this vertically. Yet again, I think, well, I don't even need to think, to be in fairness. Everything that I've tested or looked at from Savotta, I freaking loved, and I really do like these. Now I will say, of the two of these, I really like this, and I have carried this a lot, but just for EDC, this one's awesome. These smaller waist packs are great. Carrying this on my waist and moving it around is brilliant. You can still wear this whilst driving if you're concerned about certain places that you need to decant as quickly as possible from vehicles and take certain things with you. It's great for that because you can still wear this whilst driving. Even if you're not wearing this, the way I've been doing it is right down where my handbrake is. This fits perfectly in that gap in between either sides of the handbrake and the seat. So you can just have this next to you, just roll up the webbing, put it next to you, drive, handbrake on, grab this, and then you're out of the vehicle as quickly as you need to be. I mean, I don't need to be out of vehicles quickly unless Mrs. Moorlander's like, quick, the sales are ending, kind of thing. But yes, so I think whichever one you go for with these, as far as Savotta is concerned, yeah, absolutely awesome, and it is up to the usual high standards and qualities that they do there. Yeah, so there you go. Now, of course, as usual, I'll leave some links below. I did purchase both of these myself, so these haven't been sent to me by anything. There's no kind of, you have to review these. I bought these myself, but I'll leave some links below where you can pick these up, either from Savotta. I have mentioned Verstelecker. They're a good company, they're a good Finnish company. I've worked with them in the past, so I'll leave some of their links. Verstelecker are actually the better company to purchase from if you want to get this into the UK. Unfortunately, Savotta don't They don't deliver directly to the UK, so I'll leave various Selecca's links below as well. I'll leave some of my social media links so you can see more from me here on Moorlander EDC. And my sister channel, I have a second channel called Moorlander Tactical, which is all about your tactical desires. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. In the Kingdom of the Moorlands, we're a small landlocked nation. We're kind of like the English, just, you know, a lot more handsome and ruggishly bollocks. I forgot what I was going to say. Nation, we're very similar to the English. We just have better teeth. So with the landlocked nation, that we often struggle with pronunciations. We're a little bit like the Scottish, but definitely not as good as drinking and as fucking fuck. Small landlocked nation. We're a little bit like the Cornish, just not as handsome, not as ruggishly kind of charming as the Cornish. Anyway, so with both, one of the downsides of being a little bit dyslexic is I have to remember so much stuff because I can't read. So I can't talk to you and read at the same time because of my dyslexia. But I have to remember stuff about stuff. Because if I don't know stuff, it don't work. That's how this stuff works. 35 by 20, 20 by 12, 20 by 20 by 12, 35 by 20. Nation, very similar to the English, but we're better in bed. We get a lot of English women coming to the Kingdom of Moorlands purely because of our sexual... Anyway, so, but what you'll find about each of small landlocked nation... Imagine us similar to the English, but here veganism is illegal kind of thing. So with both of these you'll find landlocked nation, we sometimes get pronunciations right. We're a little bit like the Welsh, but we know how to spell town names properly. That kind of thing. So we're both landlocked nation and sometimes struggle with pronunciations. We're a little bit like the Scottish, we're just not as good as fighting and drinking as they are, kind of thing. Anyway, so with both of these,